Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Tenplus with Apeh Harrison. My name is Queen Esther, and here with me is Mr. Elisha and Architect Apeh. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment, and also remember to turn on your post notification. Today we'll be talking on a very important topic titled, I'm broke and I have a business idea. I'm sure some of us can relate to this, particularly in our economy. So on to the first question. Mr. Elisha, how can I raise funds for my startup or business idea?
Wow, thank you. I believe there are different avenues to raise capital for business startups, but I think there are some that are not viable when you are starting. For example, when you talk about bank loan, they need a credit history. You are just starting, so you don't have one, But bootstrapping is the first thing I would say, which means you want to build a business from ground up using what is available to you. No aid, no support. That's one. And the second one, I would say, it worked for me, family and friends. It's worked for me many times. I remember some years ago, I wanted to start the I Am Possible t-shirt line. I designed it. But you see, the first thing I did, which is what iPhone and Samsung are doing today, they did pre-sale. Now, pre-sale is when you have an idea that is a product and you have what it takes to create that product. You can pre-sale, and all you need to do is to create a prototype. Then you can pre-sale to produce that. I did that, and all I needed to do was to call 10 people and ask them for $250,000. And 8 responded. So, and that's another way. That's family and friends. And I jokingly said that you could win contests, maybe a government approved program like the previous You Win in Nigeria, or Tony Elumelu Foundation. Those are places where
Winning Mindset Foundation.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I've given a few people grants to start up, and I know he does the same. So that's where that's about empowerment, and there's also the ability to raise funds by pitching your idea to an investor to raise your capital. But once you are starting, I think bootstrapping is the likely way you can, because that's how you show your determination, your commitment, and your seriousness to your own idea.
Okay, so while you were speaking, it responded. I want to assume you didn't just get positive response immediately. There were times where you also got no's. In our climb today, many people are very discouraged when they get negative answers and they feel like, why am I even doing this? And then it's a reason for them to stop or even try to push further with the other people on your list. How were you able to overcome that no answer, or I can't afford it now? And the way some people even tell you the no, you begin to ask yourself, am I even on track?
True.
So how were you able to, despite the negatives, still push ahead to achieve that project you were embarking on?
I think a no does not really mean a negative answer.
Okay.
That's the first thing I need people to know. No is a valid answer. Give me no. It's not a negative answer.
Very
it's
important.
A very valid answer.
They should write that down. No is an answer.
Yes, because
It's an
yes
answer
is
on
an
its own.
answer. No is an answer.
So now I go to 10 people and then 2 people told me no. First things first, their no does not mean my idea is bad.
very key, because the first reason that comes,
that's what you feel. You feel bad. The no may be their lack of understanding of my idea. So you need to learn to take such, because in this world, no is going to come more often than yes.
Yes, that's true.
And that's life.
That's true.
And so, I don't know, you have something
Yeah, especially at the start. I mean, it's going to be very unfair if you ask for a favor and always expect a yes. As a matter of fact, it is negative response for you to make demands on people and always demand a yes. You see, especially when you're starting. When you're starting, you have no history. There's no credential. There's nothing to show that you have done this before and succeeded. And sometimes, truthfully, some people begin their very first enterprise this way. It's possible to have run one or two other enterprises and you've done well with that. Maybe you started with 100K, you did well with that. You did a different business with 200K, you did well with that. And then now suddenly you need 2 million naira. Okay? When you have those two other records, it's just okay. I mean, you've done well with the two other businesses. I can give you 2 million naira now.
Credibility.
Some people don't have any credential, no history, nothing. So you should expect a no. As a matter of fact, no should be an expected answer. The yes should be the surprise.
I agree.
I agree. People, I'm not saying expect negative. Like you said, no isn't negative. Sometimes no becomes negative by your response.
Yes, sir.
It's what the no does to you that makes it either positive or negative. Some no's are the best positives that can happen to you
at a time.
That's true, because so many historical breakthroughs have come from the no's that people received. Okay, so Architect Apeh, on to the next question. All of us have networks. We have people that we relate with, which we can refer to as our networks. And then there are some times where some people come up with very complex business ideas. So how do you handle implementing complex business ideas that are bigger than your immediate network? How do you rise above that immediate network? But it will demand you making new friends, breaking out of the norm you're used to. How do you manage that?
Yeah, so I think, so partially you've answered that, breaking out of your current network and all of that. But there are two key things there. You've talked about big ideas and complex ideas. I have no problem with big ideas. I usually have problems with complex ideas. When any idea is complex, is likely to fail.
Okay.
I have no problems with an idea. See, every global brand was never really a complex idea.
Okay.
Steve Jobs didn't have a complex idea. He just had a big idea. Bill Gates didn't have a complex idea. They just had big ideas. However complex your ideas seem, you need to simplify it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because people find it very difficult to respond to complex ideas. So my first advice would be that if you have a complex idea that is way bigger, see, that's what you said, complex idea, and then you spoke about the size. I have no problem with the size. You can have a global idea from your village. I don't have a problem with that. My real problem is because I've met people really that have really complex ideas. They spend 2 hours trying to tell me what they're planning to do. I truly don't get it.
I don't at all.
Do you understand? And if I can't get it, I can help you.
True.
Yes. And that's why one of my very strong mentors, who is like a father figure to me, and like my father-in-law really, he said to me that when life gets tough, when things get down to it, you must go back to the basics. Everything you want to do, you must be able to break them down to the basics. When you start giving me idea and giving me 18 layers, do you understand, to one simple, structured idea? I mean, what is complex about Samsung? What is complex about Apple? What is complex about Uber?
Nothing.
What's Uber's idea? Do you understand? Uber is the biggest taxi company without a taxi.
Yes.
He's trying to demystify the whole concept of you owning cars. You don't really need to own a car. They want to make taxing so simple. It's just that straightforward. You see? Amazing. So however big your idea is, keep it, but make sure that it must be simplified to the basics. Always find a way to simplify your idea. So that way you can convey it to your possible investors on network and then eventually grow to a network.
Okay. Wow. I learned a lot from this answer. So, Mr. Elisha, there are issues in our society. Well, I've heard of one or two where startups, people who want to start up a business are given the opportunity to pitch their ideas to investors. And we've heard stories where maybe after pitching the ideas, these same investors take these ideas and implement them. So there's this question of how can I securely pitch my idea to investors, sell my business idea to an investor without avoiding the stories of, oh, I sold my ideas to him and look what he did, he used my idea and now he's implementing it somewhere and it has grown. So what advice or how would you suggest people who want to do startups pitch their ideas or sell their business ideas?
For me, I think for me, it's a little difficult to understand.
Okay.
Because, but I've heard a lot about that. People say, I go pitch an idea. I know that when you have an idea and you want to pitch an idea, you are the desperate one.
Yes, that's true.
And if you are the desperate one, it means you don't have ability to make demands. Now, but you see, there's something people call non-disclosure agreements. I'm going to be talking to you about something, but sorry, sir. Before,
yes,
but you see, you are desperate already, so you want, I have a friend who pitched an idea to a state government. It's happening now, but it's not his own.
Yeah.
To be sincere, I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I mean, but the truth is this.
Yeah,
you see, when you pitch an idea to an investor, and for example, you get a yes, and the investor gives you the 1 million naira, he's going to be at risk. However good your idea is, because a good idea does not guarantee success.
Yes, sir.
That's true.
Right? Even funding does not guarantee success.
Yeah.
So you can have a good idea, you can get the funding and still not be successful. So when the investor gives you his money, he's risking his capital. He's being exposed on the premise of your idea. An investor running with your idea without your involvement is also the risk that you who is pitching the idea must take. Africa.
Yes, sir.
If you go in my office, say, okay, I won't give you an idea, I beg, sign paper. You will not use my idea. It will give you better slap. I say, leave my office here. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, this is not America. Let's be honest. You must understand the cultural framework of your terrain. So you can't go to anyone's office and say, can we sign a non-disclosure agreement? I have a very world-changing idea. Sir, please just, if you don't mind, don't be offended, sir. Please just sign.
I will be offended.
I will even sign. As I feel sign, I say, okay, please, can you now
leave the office?
If you don't mind too, can you leave my office?
Take the agreement and go.
So I think that now, so this is what I would say. This is my advice. There is enough room for your idea to thrive, even if it is duplicated.
Okay.
So if you had a great idea and the color of your idea is green, and your prospective investor runs with your idea, don't feel downtrodden. There is enough room for several green ideas to succeed within that framework of your society, of your city, of your country. So if they did it and it's working, it should encourage you.
Yes.
So that means my idea can actually work.
It's possible.
Then when you go to your next place, tell them that actually that idea that Apeh is doing, I was the one who told him. As he has tried it, it's working. So now I want you to give me money.
Yes.
Who gave birth to the idea?
Yes.
I want to do it again.
I think you just answered the next question I was supposed to ask about market saturation and how to cope with there are so many people doing this, my business, how is it going to work? But I think you just answered it, that your idea, if it is a good one, is going to thrive despite the fact that so many people are doing it. And also note, he said that the fact that so many people are doing it and it's working goes further to show that if you start yours and you're on course, it will work. So guys, please, I'm sure you've enjoyed the session so far. Please, we'll go on a commercial break now. Stay tuned and we'll be back to talk more on a very interesting point. So please stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back. Before the break, we were talking about market saturation, and I would like you to please throw more light on a business idea that somebody wants to make entrance into a business that is already all over the place. What's the possibility of thriving? What's the possibility of running with that business and being a very successful person there?
I think, first of all, I think the concept, my opinion, is that the concept of market saturation is a myth.
Okay.
I don't think it really exists. Now there are some new phone lines coming up, Oppo and a few of them, Infinix, Nigeria Techno. When they came out a few years ago, we thought it was just chinko. It was going to be a massive flop.
That's true.
Today, they can't even meet up with the demands.
That's true.
And all these guys who began these brands could have said, man, Samsung and Apple. I mean, if it's not Samsung, it's not Samsung. If it's not Apple, it's not Apple. All right? If it's not Nokia, it's not Nokia. I mean, where's Nokia today?
That's
Gone.
true. Can't find Nokia.
Gone.
So, however much you think that, we are over 7 billion people. Honestly.
True.
So, in my opinion, now, you say you want to do fish business in Nigeria. You say, but everybody's doing fish business. Do you know that the supply of fish, catfish precisely, does not meet 50% of the demands in Nigeria?
50%.
It doesn't come, yes, with all the catfish we have in Nigeria,
That's a lot
we are
of
not anywhere near 50% of the demand of catfish for just 200 million people.
Wow.
So the truth is this, there are many things that we are buying today that, think about it, even things like Crocs.
Oh, yes.
Crocs, honestly.
Yes, Crocs.
Crocs that seem like one very, very useless,
Honestly.
Footwear.
Yes.
And today it's everywhere.
Yes.
And you can decide to produce Crocs today, and I assure you can still be successful. Like I said, the idea doesn't guarantee success, the funding doesn't guarantee success, but your implementation, your strategy is where your success lies. You get the idea? So
Yes.
I really don't believe, I personally do not believe in the concept of market saturation.
And I also think also that market saturation is also a positive sign.
Okay.
When there are too many people playing in a particular industry, it tells you that there is market. It tells you that there is demand. Or else nobody will be going into it.
That's
Nobody goes into a place that fails.
That's true.
I get what I'm saying. So now you just have to ask yourself the same question. What strategy am I going to use to carve my niche?
Yes.
Do you remember the first time we go to Mr. Biggs those days? There was no playground inside.
That's true.
Then they started playing playground.
Yes.
Why? Because people who come to Mr. Biggs are always coming with children. If there's no place for children, so now they started creating playgrounds. And I don't think it's Mr. Big that brought it up. I think it's a competition.
Yeah.
I can't remember. And then everybody started duplicating.
Tantalizers also.
Tantalizers. So now you come, your child won't even ask you for the burger.
He's running straight to the playground.
It's playing. So now you are in the same industry, but you did something different. And as simple as a playground, it's changing the game.
That's true.
There's an ice cream place in Kaduna, that's all they did. Playground, they don't even have parking space. But the playground
Attracts people.
changed everything. Now they have 3 branches in Kaduna, only them.
And then I'll say this. When you are in a market that appears saturated, he said something very valid. When Mr. Biggs brought in the playground, they changed their delivery.
Okay.
The product is still the same. The business is food business. The problem we have many times is that when you are selling food, all you sell is food. That's the problem.
Okay.
So when we began a restaurant, we didn't sell food alone. We sold space.
Okay.
So we created a space. So if you go online, you see many people taking pictures of Letoha.
Yes, that's
It's not because we have the greatest food. But we're in a plaza. That's not the most appealing place. So what we did was to create a space that will sell the food.
An experience.
You see? So you think that we are in the food business. We're not just in the food business. We're in the space business. So we want a space where you want to come and have your meeting. Want a space where you want to bring your friends.
To sit down.
Do you understand? Want a space where you want to do your party. So they want a space that is social media friendly. Because everybody wants to take a selfie.
Yes.
Wow.
So what we did with Little Heart Kitchen was that every single angle you turn is picture friendly.
Wow.
And that's true.
Wow.
You see? So whenever you are in a space that appears saturated, find a way to evolve and reinvent your delivery. The product might be the same, but find something else that you sell alongside the product. If you're selling a dress, then sell a dress with cheerfulness. You may not have even a store, but let it be that every time you come around, your clients will sell, bring cheerfulness. And see, you don't have the best shirt, but they like the energy
You bring in.
when you bring your shirts. Do you understand? And then, you just see people now customizing shirts, putting people's names.
Yes.
That's what they're doing.
Yes.
You can't compete with Gucci. So what you do, just buy a simple
Put your
t-shirt
name.
and find a way to customize the
Brand it.
shirt. Well, man, I have a shirt with my name on it. Because that is
Very
a new
profound.
delivery to
Yes.
an old business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Massive.
Okay.
Massive.
So you talked about bootstrapping when we started earlier, and I have a question for you in that regard. Now, what's the possibility of bootstrapping in our economic reality currently, our space?
Well,
He's a bootstrapper.
well. You know, I said we have agreed that bootstrapping is about starting a business from ground up. It's
Without
about
any
you,
aid.
no aid, no support, nothing. Now,
So, sir, can you say that again for those who don't
Yes.
know what bootstrapping is?
Okay.
So, what is bootstrapping?
it is starting a business from ground up or from the scratch without
Without aid.
external aid, support, or help from anywhere. It's about you and what is available to you. Now, let me say this. Now, I have an idea, knowledge, and I want to convert my knowledge to a book. And I don't have money to print the book. Now, you know, if you don't have a name, that's difficult.
Very.
For me, I had a name.
Okay.
So when I said I'm releasing a book, pre-order, printed the book. I didn't use my money. But now the question is, and it was the same thing we talked about bank with credentials, credit history, and everything. The question is, for me, how I started was the same credibility, and it has to do with how I have lived around other things before the business idea ever came.
So we're talking about integrity here.
Yes, and we're talking about trust. Everybody who helped me, everybody who gave me money, one way or the other. But you see, me, I started most of my business with my savings because I had a job before I ever had an idea. So I saved.
Okay.
That's why one of the division of bootstrapping is from your savings. So I had a job, but not everybody have a job. So the question now is that if you don't have a job in this country,
What's the possibility?
what's the possibility for you to start from the ground up? You're looking at me, you want to say something?
No.
And say something now.
I'm listening to you.
You're enjoying me, so say something.
All right, yeah. So I mean, bootstrapping is a very important concept to embrace, especially here and with all the things that happen in the world, with the post-COVID and post all the negative things for 2020. It's going to be very difficult to have anyone want to commit to helping fund anybody's idea.
No.
All right. So it's important that we begin to think about how can I begin my business? How can I invest in my ideas without any external support? Like I said, he's a bootstrapper. I'm a bootstrapper. Many of the things that we began from nothing.
Yeah.
We literally began from nothing. But this is what I would say to young people. Ideas can wait.
True.
Okay.
Ideas can wait. He said something very important in one of the episodes that he was featured in, and he said that he had a picture. You told us the story.
Yeah.
How you had a picture in your
16
pocket
years.
for 16 years of a chair he always wanted to have. It was an idea of a chair he wanted to own, but he kept that picture for 16 years. That picture may just be a desired item, and it could be a desired idea. I've had the idea to begin a food business, a restaurant, for over 7 years. And in my own case, it wasn't the lack of funds, but it wasn't just time. It wasn't time. I could have funded the restaurant 7 years ago, by God's grace. But it wasn't time. I wasn't there yet. I wasn't in that space. Yeah, you want to say something?
Yes, on the concept of time, what made you know it was time?
Yeah, you see, many things. You see, because, like I said, fortunately for me, I learned early that a business is not as successful as the idea. And a business is not as successful as your capital base.
True.
Okay.
There are other infrastructure that forms the
System.
fabrics of running a business. You know, even the way your timing is framed. I could be working in a place where I work from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And I have an idea that would need me to commit 4 hours in the daytime. So in that period, 3-4 years when I'm in that job, on that job, I can't do that.
Yes,
I can't do that
that's
business.
true.
and it's possible that if I am on that business for 5 more years, I'll be promoted. When I'm promoted, I can work fewer hours. When I work fewer hours, I can now begin my business. Or when I am promoted, I'm now an authority. If I'm selling my shirt and I'm your boss, you must buy my shirts.
Yes, sir.
So if I'm selling shirts as the Megad, you may not buy my shirt.
Yeah.
But when I become an MD of that same company, you will buy my shirt.
Yes. Yeah.
So the timing, there are a lot of things you want to look at. That the other infrastructure that you need to successfully run a business.
Are they in place?
Always know that it's beyond your idea and it's
Beyond
very
funding.
importantly beyond funding. That you have the money does not mean it is time. Check the other infrastructure that you require. If I'd opened a restaurant many years ago, one or two things would have happened. I would need to have given so much more time to the restaurant, and that would have put my architectural practice at risk. The kind of money, by God's grace, that I make from architecture, I probably could have made from restaurants 7 years ago. And I needed the cash that was coming in from architecture, from construction, from furniture, from design. So I stayed focused on architecture and other things I was doing at the time. They were giving me better yield. But if I had done restaurant at that time, I'd have put all of that at risk and put so many more things at risk 7 years down the road. So I had to wait. So always know that ideas, however good, however exciting, however urgent the idea feels, be sure you have the right infrastructure, and if you don't, ideas can wait.
Okay.
And it's profound.
Yes, very.
Knowing that ideas can wait simply means time is never against you.
Yeah.
Because you are meant to use time. And when you asked me that question, I remembered that I usually say something to people who come to pose ideas to me, and I ask them, how resourceful are you? Resourcefulness simply means the ability to identify that you have something. So what do you have? So you come, you're looking for 100K and you're using an iPhone 11.
That's true.
So the common sense for me is go sell your iPhone 11. If it does not come up with the money, I'll balance it. But you can't keep your iPhone 11 and use 100% of my money to fund your business. Even if you go to bank, they will tell you to bring equity.
Yes.
The problem with us is that we don't want to support our idea. We want to hand it over to somebody to fund.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
You drive a car and all you are looking for is 400,000 for an idea that you believe will blow the world. Sell the car and blow the world and buy a new car.
Yes. Yes.
It is very, very key. Yes.
I try to look at, because that's what I do. We're talking. Apeh is my friend. I could call Apeh for 5 million and I'll get it. But sometime in COVID, because I lost a lot of money in January, so sometime in COVID, we had done some few things together and I had to do something. I have cars. So I picked a Mercedes, a C300, beautiful one, because it was going to give me almost the amount I needed. So instead of me begging, instead of me pitching, and then you tell me my idea is boring, I sold my Mercedes and I kept my boring idea to me and my money. And I poured it into the project. The project now is looking beautiful. Somebody's asking me, can I support?
Yes. And then you can still buy.
And that's what bootstrapping do for you.
Yes.
It gives your idea, it gives the concept the ability to be vetted, to be seen. And truly speaking, it can wait.
So guys, one thing I picked from here is you should be ready to fund your business too. Be ready to give whatever you have at that time to see to the progress of that business. So moving on to the next question is related to side hustles and still your startup. So how do you maintain focus? You've taught several times in 10 classes about if there's a need to do something on the side that will fund your business later, you should always do it rather than looking for where to go get money from. So how do you maintain focus using your side hustle to fund your startup?
Yeah, I think that, the side hustle could be many things. Side hustle could be your primary job, all right? And let me also say that your side hustle could be a job you hate.
That's true.
True.
So it is part of the price of bootstrapping, okay? Sometimes you have to do a job you hate to pay for a business you are passionate for.
True.
So how do I stay focused? I stay focused on the business I'm passionate about. so that it makes the pain of this job that I
Lighter.
hate feel lighter. I am driven by the fuel of the business in front of me that I hope to fund from this job, either while remaining on the job or while after I've designed my exit strategy of the job. So I could still start the business while I'm on the job I hate and do a business I love. In fact, let me say this. For a true bootstrapper, your first business idea may even be an idea you hate.
Okay.
It might be something you will not normally do.
But you're confident about.
But you know this thing. It
can work.
You know this thing, but see, it could be poultry, it could be farming, it could be like farming, cassava farming. And you may hate farming.
I do.
Yes, did you get
I hate farming.
know, but you know that if I do this rice farming, in 4 years I can raise 4 million naira. So I do a job that I hate, raise enough money to start farming that I hate, so in the next 5 years I can live a life that I love.
So the focus, the end goal should always be in front of you. That
Exactly. So even your first business may not be. Now, when I came into Abuja, right, I was squatting with a friend of mine, and I just came out of school. I didn't have any resource. I came to Abuja with less than 1,000. So the first thing I did was that a friend of mine came with the idea of selling laptops. I'm not one for selling laptops. I don't like selling laptops. But I don't like one-on-one, sale. Like I'll bring something to you. So okay, you guys buy this thing. It's very good. It's 7 gig. It has so RAM. I don't like that. I don't like that direct interface when it comes to trying to sell a product. Okay. So, but I had to sell a laptop. I didn't have the money to buy the laptop. So there were two things. I had to go and hustle with a laptop dealer to give me a laptop on credit.
They call that drop shipping, right?
Yes. I don't know what that means really. I just said yes for the camera. So,
but another way to raise capital for a startup.
Yes, it's this way. So there's no cash involved. No cash involved.
Shipping.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
Drop shipping.
Yeah, drop shipping.
Yes.
Drop shipping.
I thought I was the only one that did
I didn't know it.
I'm comfortable now.
Drop shipping. So you can drop ship.
Yes.
All right. So no cash was involved. We took a laptop on credit and then had to go and hustle to sell it. But I didn't like it. My real passion was architecture. That's why I went to school and that's what I wanted to do. But at that point, I didn't have any job. You see, so both architecture as a job or a business was what I wanted to do. So I began with a business I didn't like. So you could begin with a job you didn't like to fund a business you don't like, to live a life that you love and do things that you're passionate about.
Wow. So guys, this has been a very interesting time.
I agree.
I've learned a lot and I'm sure we've learned a lot too from each other.
You.
Please, I'm sure you enjoyed this session. Make sure to turn on your post notification because we will be back with another very, very interesting section with so many interesting topics. Stay tuned, guys. Thank you.